to local activities, and have your own apartment. Find out more by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back into our WTIM morning show right here on WTIM, your information station. In studio, we have Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office. Very happy to have him back in studio. Before we go, thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. I'll say it one more time. We are back connected to Facebook. You can find the live stream right there. Very excited about that. Chief Deputy Jim Baker, good to have you back in studio. How have things been?
Morning, Tim. Glad to be back.
Absolutely.
Been good. Been a busy time around the sheriff's office.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to get into a whole lot of it today, but a lot of conversation about the square yesterday. I was hearing there was some traffic, and you don't hear that too often, but there's some big operations happening with both the Christian County Sheriff's Department there and with the Christian County Correctional Office, correctional facility. So we will be breaking down all of that today. Just what did you want to get out to the people on that little traffic on the square yesterday?
Yep. So once you see the construction going on, it brings up a lot of questions and curiosity. And I thought that'd be a good time to discuss this on my return visit, that we're finally, after like anything, you do a construction project, it takes a while to get everything in place. And one of those things, we're getting bids, putting it out, stuff like that. And as we've discussed in the previous episodes, probably close to a year ago, sure, you get allocated, the county board allocated $2.1 million to the sheriff's office in general. That was broke down into a couple different phases, one of them being a roof replacement on the location itself at 301 West Franklin. In addition to that, the county has owned a building at 214 West Market Street that was previously occupied by zoning and solid waste. Some of your listeners may recall it as they call it the old Ameren building. Okay. A lot of people recognize it that way. That building, it had a basement. It was a lot of square footage, a lot of area that was available. By some moving in departments, the county wanted solid waste and zoning to be relocated back over to the courthouse, which they're there on the first floor now. That opened up the opportunity for the sheriff's office. They had us look at that. And like anything, our current facility at 301 was built in the 70s. Since then, we've outgrown everything. If you think of how many things you plug into the wall that wasn't available in the 70s. So it gave us some room for some expansion and moving, kind of spreading our wings and getting more room.
Great. It's all really good things to hear. And you deserve a new building in 1970s. You said 1970s?
Yes,
that building?
Yes.
Wow,
I believe it was built in 71, I believe.
My goodness. So the sheriff's office, big changes coming to that with the relocation. Tell us the new aspects of this building. How is it going to help with your operations, making things easier?
Okay. Yeah. So basically, once they allocated those, we decided that we would be moving the daily operations of the deputies, the sheriff, the investigators, and the clerical over to 214 West Market Street, which there again, the old zoning office. Yeah. Once we get over there, that's going to give us the opportunity to acquire things that we previously didn't have. A pretty extensive project in that interior. It was minimal. We talked about posting some pictures of some of the rooms, minimal reconstruction of that building, minimal cost. We would be gaining some office space, but one of the big highlights of that is we're going to get a audio video recorded interview room. Right. So it'll be a double taped room. A lot of work goes into it, being the double insulation, sound barrier, soundproofing, and then the audio and recording equipment. So it's going to let us, some of the things that we make arrest on are mandated that you audio and record it. And it's been pretty tough at the sheriff's office now because we don't have that, right, and we don't have the room for it. So we're going to be going there. Evidence storage, things like that we've outgrown in the current facility. And there again, there'll be some inconvenience that will accrue being off-site, but we are within, if I walk out the back door and cut across the alley, I'm within sight of the actual correctional facility. Great. So operations will have all those opportunities to expand and grow. And then when we focus on the sheriff's building itself, it gives us the opportunity, when I say the sheriff's building, the Christian County Correctional Facility, our current location, it was in great need of infrastructure updates. And so we'll be focusing on a lot of that.
A lot of safety intake and looking at the inmates and how they're experiencing it. Those are the changes that we're going to start seeing there. So talking about the Christian County Correctional Facility, what changes are we going to see there? Because I know about that year ago, we started having that conversation.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing, just like circle back to around everybody seeing the construction, you know, yesterday we had a giant Negwar truck there, or an oversized truck blocking the road on Market Street that's unloading drywall. And if you was to swing around the corner and go by the sheriff's office, one of the biggest things that you'll see going on right now is we'll be getting a complete remodel or a resurfacing of the roof, which is going to include basically a spray foam material that we've got leaks throughout the building, and it's just deteriorated. And so we're hoping from the top to the bottom of doing a complete remodel of needed infrastructure. And one of the biggest things there, again, right now, if you go by, for people curious, there's a large vacuum there. I didn't understand when they got there, or the process that goes into that is pretty substantial with getting a vacuum that's big enough it would suck your ball cap off your head.
Sure.
But they've taken, I wouldn't even be able to count how many loads of rock, and it's big, heavy, decorative rock that protected the rubber layering. It's being sucked off there and being trucked out. And so that's going to be the biggest thing, is getting a new roof on. And that's currently going on amongst numerous things interior. But right now, the biggest thing they'll see is the roof replacement.
Okay, truly top to bottom here with this renovation. Can we start talking about those interior differences that we're going to?
Sure,
some people see.
Yeah. So once we start that, you've got to start with the roof, get that fixed, so that way you can move on. Some of the things that we're going to be looking at is the deterioration of the infrastructure, being the electrical and the plumbing. The electrical is not so much that it's deteriorated, it's that it's insufficient for the needs of even that building. So we're going to be doing some life safety measures that would include more, eliminating things like we have around the house, like power strips, things like that. We'll be bringing in more electrical service and seeing what the needs would be to eliminate some of those problems. We would then move on to, some of the plumbing. Some of the plumbing's there, it's got a lot of the old cast iron that's dilapidated and falling apart. So we had a engineer in yesterday doing a survey of just how many feet of plumbing that needs to be replaced. And of course, at some point you make a wish list of, hey, this is all the things I'd like to have done. And once we, start moving the money around, you have to get the operations out of the building over to Market Street to decide how much that cost, how much is left, and what we can get done to acquire. And thankfully the county board, we've looked at what is the best value in spending the remodel, and then what's a contingency 5-year plan of what additionally needs to be done. So after we get into that infrastructure and start looking at some of those things, then we'll start looking into life safety measures and seeing where we can put those funds to mitigate some of those life safety measures.
Sure.
So going from the roof to electrical to plumbing would be the main focus right now. And once we get those things wrapped up, then we would move into what we can do to help with the occupancy life safety measures.
Sure. This might fall under life safety measures, or even just electricity. I feel like we had a conversation about maybe like blanket laws, overlying laws through every correctional facility in the United States. Are there any laws like that where you need to be up to date, and maybe in terms of locking or in terms of inmate security? Is there anything like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So yes, it's going to allow us to basically, there are things that, when you have an older facility that I believe they label it, you're grandfathered in. It's not best practice. It's, if you build a new facility today, there's a lot of new standards that you have to follow and regulations. It's not to say that if you have an old facility, you can't still, work towards how can we improve that. And some of those things obviously would be, when I say life safety measures, one of the biggest things we had was the occupancy.
Okay.
When we started looking at this, when we looked at where can we best spend this money, we reached out, the fire department done an inspection, and you start thinking of a building that was built for 15 inmates, and we're housing at times, up to 50 or 60.
Wow.
Just by, we used to have a gymnasium that is no longer available. It's now a double bunk area, and you start increasing that. You're kind of grandfathered in, but then when you hear the fire department say, hey, look, your exit point from getting, the inmates and your workers and everybody safely out of the building in the event of a fire, there's a limitation of exits and occupants getting out that.
Right.
You can mitigate that by going in and saying, hey, we have fire suppression that's going to basically, exponentially expand on what your life safety measures and your exiting of that egress areas out the door.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the big focuses. So yes, there are standards, just like medical, things like that. We can get into what we're going to gain there, and how the current operations, currently aren't best practice. And by doing this remodel, it will allow us to address inmate and employee safety.
Great. We're happy to hear all these words right now. And can we start thinking about an end of construction date when the sheriffs will begin to work in their 214 West Market location?
Yeah. I would like to say that it's sooner than later. We had a goal back in July, and we ran into some things that were an oversight, that we had a company that was managing the project, and there were a lot of missed items, and they put it out legally. We have to put it out for bid. In the legal notices, we'd done that. Then it came in over budgeted, and we worked with the county board. They've been great to work with on that. Myself and, a couple assigned committee members went back to the drawing board, and we're able to get, break it down more locally. And after putting it out and not getting much of a response for bids, we started reaching out and trying to get 3 bids for every phase of the project. So that was a stumble on timeline. And so now we've refocused. We've put it out for local bids. We've got most, a construction crew, an electrical crew, everybody there. And as much as I'd like to say we would be in there next week, we went from July to now October. And I'm hopeful that with everything coming together, we're finally in a stage, we're almost to the drywalling stage.
Okay.
So I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I believe operational 214 Market Street may be occupied somewhere towards the end of October or the first week of November.
I can live with that. It's hard to put a timeline on these types of things, and hearing the massive overhaul that's happening over there. We're happy to know you'll be back up in that building very, very soon. Chief Deputy, we got to take ourselves a break here, but when we come back, we have much more to talk about. You've been listening to our WTIM morning show, and this is Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office, and we'll be right back on WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Are you passionate about making a difference in the lives of children? This is Amanda Miller, the Director of Human Resources at Kimmer Village.
We are hiring residential techs now to join our dedicated team. This is Shalis Nagel, Executive Director of Kimmer Village. Residential techs support and care for youth in our program.
We're looking for compassionate individuals ready to inspire and uplift. We offer an amazing benefits package and great starting pay. If you're ready to make an impact, apply today at kimmervillage.org.
The Shelby County Economic Development Corporation aims to foster, promote, and stimulate economic development, from keeping existing industry and retail businesses successful and thriving to attracting new investment in Shelby County. The Shelby County Economic Development Corporation is here to help your business grow. It also sponsors job fairs to fill positions at existing employers and encourages future entrepreneurs in the Shelby County CEO program. Find out more on the Shelby County Economic Development Corporation by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
I'm Jeff Grimmett, Assistant Vice President at People's Bank and Trust in Taylorville. People's Bank and Trust is proud to sponsor Taylorville Junior High School Students of the Month on all of the WTIM platforms.
I'm Delilah Jordan, the 7th grade student of the month. My parents are Stephen Jordan and Alex Manley. The school subjects I enjoy are art and ELA because I love to draw and read. This year at TJHS, I'm involved in softball. After high school, I am considering being an animator as a career because I love to draw and animate. A fun fact I would like you to know about me is I went to New York for vacation and saw Niagara Falls.
Congratulations to these students on this honor from People's Bank and Trust. We put people first every day at People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
The WTIM Swap Shop has gone virtual. Now you can list your items to buy, sell, trade, or give away absolutely free by posting them online. Just click on the Swap Shop icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Then click Create Account to create your free account. Complete the fields and hit Submit. Once your items are approved by station staff, they'll automatically show up on the Swap Shop page on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Yes, the WTIM Swap Shop is now online and still free. Check it out today.
This is Megan Lopez with Nesty's Burger Joint on the south side of the Taylorville Square. To see our menu, click on our icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
This is Shawless Nagel, Executive Director at Kimmer Village in Assumption. To learn more about our services, click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back into the WTIM Morning Show with Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office. Thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. We were talking construction and operation over at the Christian County Sheriff's Office and the Christian County Correctional Facility here with Chief Deputy Jim Baker. Now let's do some housekeeping stuff across Central Illinois here. It is harvest season. We're seeing those implements out there. Any message for the drivers of Central Illinois?
Yes, unfortunately, for us, deer season started off with a bang. October 1st was opening day of archery season, and I got a phone call bright and early that one of the deputies got their first deer.
And not from a deer blind.
Yeah,
You're saying
no, sorry. Let me rephrase that. Struck a deer opening morning. Somebody may have got in there and wrestled him up, got him out on the roadway. But yes, to point out, I just can't stress enough that when you're approaching near an open wooded area or a closed in wooded area, you stand a higher chance they'll come. These deer just get crazy, and the crazier the season gets with activity of, when they go into their breeding and rutting season, the numbers just explode. I mean, we'll see as high as 20 to 30 traffic crashes in 1 month. And so they need to be vigilant about, hey, they are moving. We got our first one. When I said he got his first one, he struck it with the squad car, and we're down a car right now. It happens. It's just one of those things that when you cover that many miles, and you got 12, 13 vehicles out driving around, you're going to get them. So we've got that, the deer crashes. And I would ask the public when they're out driving around, to be mindful that it is farm implement season. They've got a job to do just like you do. Give them some patience and some leeway so everybody gets to their destination safely. And when you're out driving around, just some, like you said, housekeeping. If you see something, say something. One of the big things that we're battling right now is break-ins. Smash and grabs at these gaming parlors seems to be a group going around cutting the power. People are actually seeing it and not thinking much of it to call. If you see something suspicious, we'd rather check into it and find out it's somebody pulled over using a phone than it is somebody pulling the back lot while they've got somebody out cutting the power.
Right. Absolutely. It's good to get that message out there. And we were totally out of time here, Chief Deputy Jim Baker. But maybe a quick conversation here about a possible open house, possible seeing the changes happening over.
Yeah, I don't want to give you and everybody's hopes up that we've got a closing date. But yeah, in towards the end of October, 1st November, I anticipate as we get these things done, and maybe Market Street's the first one, we'll basically look forward to an open house of letting everybody come in, take a peek at what's going on there, get them familiar with our location, and let them see, hopefully it's a positive contact, but if they need to come in and see the sheriff's office, they knew where the new building's at and stuff. We'll work on getting a sign out and keep everybody posted and let them know when we're there.
I'll be excited to see those updates there. And then to a quick thing back to the deer there, you always think can't be. You hear those numbers you brought up there, and I constantly seeing from the blotter from Christian County Sheriff's Office. It happens almost every single day. Yep. So it's a pretty scary thing. Stay vigilant out on the road. It's harvest season. It's deer season. Thanks so much, Chief Deputy, for taking the time today.
Everybody stay safe and have a good October.
Absolutely. Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office right here on the WTIM Morning Show. Thank you all for tuning in.
Your information station, WTIM.
Visit the